Okay, so we are live on YouTube now. You can go ahead. Huh? No, this one is here, but there is one for Zoom. So nataka your help kuja kuweka hii because it has only showed the presentation but not this. Yeah.
and will always generate reports on the activity in real time and later. Thank you. I hope I've answered you.
That's to give final comments. Any other question? Yeah.
Okay, this is a big one.
Yes.
It's a nice project, but I have a question for you. Though there were like three or four, some have been answered. So my question is, you have talked about, I think somewhat about partnership and the main source is the county government, is it? Yeah. Do you think that's going to lead to like in the implementation of a project can lead to limited resources? So how can you expand on that?
So on the matter of funding, see when the county government refuses, so I look at on I'll see my budget, my earnings, and make sure that the project is into the completion. Thank you.
Before I give my comments, I have a few questions. Um, Number one, maybe to understand which softwares are you going to use to be able to develop the system.
There are many programming software which can be used. There are softwares like you can say PHP. We have Java and others, Python and others.
Okay, thank you for answering that. The reason why I was bringing that concept is because we are talking about the practicability and the feasibility of the project. So once you understand even the basics and the practical tools that you're going to use, then we are convinced that the project is doable and that's for practicability. And then even if you are targeting the county government alone, then you should work with other partners because now that you are taking the county government and you see the government in terms of developing systems and structures for the government, for you to be able to have the buy-in, then you must have collaborate with other partners. Even like the government agencies that are concerned with the integrity, promotion, like the ELCC, the cohesion commission. Yeah, so if you bring these partners on board, then this project might likely to set through and the government will buy in the idea. And then something that I also want to comment is in terms of the topic, digital activity monitoring system project proposal. It's the title, by reading the title alone, I should be convinced that the project is targeting, there's something to do with integrity and ethical practices. So that title can be reframed to integrate digital activity monitoring system for integrity, promotion for to promote ethical practice. So that just frame it to be well aligned, and then the project problem statement also need to be backed with the data. So you be able to explain some of the problems that informed your topic selection, but there's lack of clear data. And then outcomes might also be measurable. So, had the AD trying to ask questions regarding to that, you need to be able to be very clear in terms of how we are going to measure the application of this system. Yeah, so those are some of the comments that I wanted to pass. But yeah,
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm really constrained to
to say much because I'm also an IT person, so nikimuuliza maswali ninaweza kulemea. But there is only one challenge that we people in the IT sector face. You are creating a system to solve a problem, but the management of the system is a person. So we are avoiding people, but putting in people to manage. Anyway, thank you very much. So think about that. So Clinton, you are next.
But when we download, I can't see the downloads. I'm not seeing the downloads. I downloaded it, but I don't see where the downloads are here. Okay, here.
I have a concern. So Grayson has used almost 25 minutes. So let us agree. Are we ready to finish by 6 or 5? Because him alone, presentation was okay 10 minutes.
So nilikuwa nakwambia, the problem was I was trying to do the presentation.
So if you are ready, your time starts now.
Thank
Here is
you.
the presentation, but I don't know what to do. Here is the presentation.
I'm Clinton Ambiche. I'm presenting this project proposal for youth integrity and the
Now,
Youth Empowerment Fund European Union with the support of the European Union. Now, a while ago, all of us went on the street because of one thing. A child, only 7 years old, was killed. She was raped first, then violated, then murdered. All of us, at least majority, were curious. People were having rage everywhere. Why do that to such a child?
The death of this child just is like many other children who have faced violence, not only in this manner of death only, but there are some who are being violated, but they are not taken up to the point of death. But these things like build on childhood trauma, which will affect them in future, both their health and their well-being. But I will just thought that maybe the people who have been given opportunity to guide these our kids, we are using the wrong approach as a society. And then there is a better approach maybe. If we try, it can work. Now imagine of saving life of over 300 children just by using something, a little budget like 50,000. You save the life of over 300 children. Now, my project proposal is based on, the title of my project is Mentorship of Children. Now, mentorship on children's rights. Children's rights and against violence. Now, most of the children are facing violence, not because they are in a way they do not actually know, because most of this violence are being perpetrated by people they know very well. Most are also being perpetrated by their guidance and also their caregivers. Now, when we are going to look at this, is what a form of this to be the title of the project, that we have to mentor these children, we have to give them an opportunity to know their rights and to guide them against all forms of violence. Globally, overall, this is what the statistics speaks to, before it speaks to the statistics of the country. Now, this is globally, this is what happens to children. Up to 1 billion children have experienced physical, sexual, and psychological violence in the past year. Then we come to this, you get homicide along the top 5 cause of death in adolescents. Now, the next slide. Mentorship of children against them.
The proposal that was sent.
Oh.
Yes, I still okay and all of that. Check if it's right the proposal first.
This is what was in the proposal.
Yes. Actually, I was the one I have is talking about Eden. So I think that's that is for the group. Oh, for the group. Oh, yes. So I think that's nice.
Okay, just proceed then.
But
Just
it's okay.
proceed.
Let's do those questions. A lot of time.
Yeah.
Let's proceed. Yeah. Full of,
Oh, thank you. Now, so now I'm narrowing down to our country. After this, you've seen all this as a staggering statistic, 11 to 17 years old. So when I came across a slide like this, I felt so sad because most of these things can be prevented. And how can they be prevented? They can be prevented by doing very few things. That leads me to the objective of my project. The first objective of this project is help children recognize different forms of violence, increase awareness of child rights, strengthen reporting mechanisms, and foster collaboration among schools, families, and community. So this is how the outcome, the expected outcome, that children identify early signs and signals. Children can now know, like, if you tell me, this person gave me this thing in online, what can I do to avoid such? They are not easily being trapped by things like being lured into online bullying, being lured into getting themselves into violence, or being lured by a person to be sexually abused. So the next thing, the next outcome is awareness spread through peer group, because after they go to those schools, they are going to tell their friends, they are going to tell the people they play with, that if you see a person calling you and giving you sweets, run away. That may be a bad person. And also they will be told again that even your parent or even your caregiver, if he does this and that to you, that's already violent. So that this person will not live with trauma throughout their life. Another expected outcome is clear reporting mechanism where they will know who to report to. Who do they report to? I think that's the first and the basic problem. You will report to someone you know, and if this person you know is the perpetrator, who will you report to? So this program or this project intends to take them through the reporting mechanism so that they may know who to tell, who to share with, and where to get justice from, because that is going to be covered through that. Then outcome and impact, it will increase community vigilance, because now we are putting these children at the center of this whole intervention. They now know their rights, they know how to do things, they know what they can understand. They can identify different types of violence committed against them. So when they know, they are aware of their rights, and they know all those things, it makes them, number one, also to be safe. So our community will be safe. Then strengthen child protection system. Children will be protected against this violence. Another thing which will work is reduce normalization of abuse. Sometimes people normalize the abuse because it does not happen to you, it did not happen to your child, it did not happen to another person, but it keeps on recurring. Then you come to normalize it. So when a society starts normalizing these things, that becomes a failed society, because a society which cannot protect their children is a society which does not have a future, and the future and all the children. Now, in long term, it will save, make life safe, reduce child trauma, strengthen mental health. Because initially, all this the project is targeted to happen at a semi-urban region in Narani is the target project where the project is intended to happen. Why we chose that place as an ideal place? It's because of the nature of the people living in that area. Normally they share a house. We found that there are small single room being shared with almost 6 children. All and the parents and all those, all 3 the young children. Again, another thing which informed this is because of the nature of the geographical area of that place called Nayani. It has those, there are people who are also using drugs and substance abuse are there. So it's easily a child can be lured to get themselves into violence. The other beneficiary target group are children aged 11 to 17, and they are found in Narani Ward as I've mentioned. They will be taken from schools, so we are going to do this capacity building in schools, in primary school. Indirect beneficiary, now, because of this long-term thing, indirect beneficiary will be parents, it will be community person, and it will be the religious people. They will be indirect beneficiary, because when a child is safe from violence, even in school, this child will concentrate and get good grades, and it will not give teachers hard time dealing with a child like that. Methodology classroom session will be conducted in schools, in primary school, with the target age group. Experiential learning, they will be taken through experiential learning, where they will have to know, they will go through role play, group discussion, where they can open more and share more with their friends, so that we can take action for the people concerned. Then there will be resource persons. Resource persons, I'm targeting the sub-county children officers and their system. They are the ones who are coming in handy to assist to help the children go through this. We are also going to do the monitoring, the attendance record. How are we going to do the monitoring attendance record? We are going to check feedback from children, feedback from the teachers, and feedback from the parents. When parents are going to have, well, reaching parents may be difficult, but we are going to have a system whereby we call them for focus group discussion. We start asking them how they cope with their children at home. Then sustainability, the project aim to train teachers, like each teacher will come from a school to continue the mentorship as the project timeline. So when a teacher comes to school, he will be trained. It will also engage PTA. It will engage the other partners, NGOs, and it will also NGOs and partners who work in this area work with kids like Kesho Kenya, Plan International, World Vision, where we can involve them in helping us to make this thing be embodied in their programs. So the budget is only 50,000 shillings for the first round, and it will support the children. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Swali, any question? One this side or one this side?
Thank you so much, Clinton, for that. Some amazing projects. Child protection. So when we talk about child protection here in Kilifi, there are a couple of organizations that I'm glad you've mentioned them, who are involved in child protection. My question is, how unique is your idea? Because we are having child rights club that are already existing in most primary schools, and they are headed by institutions that you've already mentioned. I'm glad you are aware of them. So my question is just one: how unique is your intervention? Thank you.
Thank you. Now, it's actually what I'm bringing on board is inclusion of the teachers and inclusion of the PTAs. When you include a PTA to come to the session like that, you train this PTA, he or she will go and also talk about this in meetings and other forums. Another thing, I'm training a teacher, one teacher from the school, from a class. That teacher will be, not, other organizations don't do that actually. They don't train those teachers. They don't involve the PTA most of the time. So mine is to bring everybody on board. Another person, I'm working closely with the chief, and the chief barazas. So those are important elements in this project.
You have said after the mentorship, you can see the child to, if the parent who has abused the child, so that you can report the parent, right? It's difficult for other children to report their own parents that they have done wrong to them. So how can you do that?
Thank you. That's now the need of the project. They will be taken through the correct reporting mechanism. They are not reporting their parents or the people, their caregivers, because they do not know how to report. Also, they are not empowered enough. This is an empowerment session where you do this, maybe a 12 years old girl, a small girl, if maybe a caregiver touch her in an appropriate way, she can be having an audacity to say, no, this is not how to do it. We are not going to do this way. Yes.
So thank you very much. Let us appreciate him. We only needed 2 questions. Is it Sobani? Okay.
Just, you have talked about children. What about the grown men who play on?
Thank you. Now, I've just talked about children because we believe the grown men and those people, the caregivers, are supposed to be their protectors. And now, why am I'm bringing children at the center of this problem, at the center of their security, so that they know security starts with me. Because those perpetrators, the big people, if they are empowered enough, they can report them. But if they are not empowered, they have been told we'll kill you if you say this, that child will never report. So,
Mr. Bill?
Thank you very much, Mr. Clinton, for that wonderful presentation. You have a background in child protection or any related field. Yes, I think that's why your project is linked to child protection and reduction of violence against children, which is still relevant to protect because it promotes peaceful, or rather, we get an enabling environment for the children to go to school they are able to get justice, then it means that we are really contributing to a favorable environment and development for this country. So the US scope was well defined, and also it is something that is doable. The problem statement was very backed with data. Objectives are also very clear, but you need also to bring in the measuring component in it, especially with the outcomes, like who are we targeting? Are we targeting how many teachers? If we are going to train the local leaders, how many this need to be captured in numerical terms so that we are clear in terms of it becomes a baseline for measurement in our M&D plan. Something that is not very clear to me, and I'm happy that it was raised, is that there are already very many ongoing interventions in the line of the child protection. There are SRH projects, there are child protection initiatives, they are quite a long number. And now there's a new space that now people that was initially left behind, that is technology facilitated by gender-based violence, which is a green field. And from my understanding, there are already partners that are already unlocking this space. So child protection, I believe it is something that's been if not overdone, but there are already much more intervention. So when you're going to present this idea, something that will still trickle into the mind of anyone trying to understand your project is how is this different? So that's if not explained clearly, then people might be wondering how effective or how unique your idea is. So you need to be very clear in terms of justifying how it is unique to already ongoing interventions.
Just one observation as well on the, I think the topic is very well. But just one comment, you talked about training teachers on this, and you already know that teachers have workload. We have a lot to do by the TSCs. And how do you manage this with the 50,000 budget? Is it really realistic? So,
Thank you. I mentioned that I'm not training entire teachers group. I'm training a teacher from a school, one teacher of a class, a patron, so for sustainability. So it will be something which is not so much because during the trainings of the children, a teacher will also attend, PTA member will attend, and they will also have their own sessions to know whatever we are doing. Yes. So it's not an isolated case where I'm training many teachers, one teacher, a school which are open.
And you're targeting how many schools?
In Mlarani, I'm currently targeting only 5 primary schools.
And then what do you envision? What do you want to see? What is the result after how long?
Number one, a safer society, where a community where children know their rights, and where people don't prey on children, they know the different form of abuse. That's
the outcome. And what about the immediate results?
the immediate result. The immediate result, number one, I've talked about where the children can share the same information with others, their peer, which they have gone to, the things that they have learned. Another thing which I've shared, the immediate result, is on the parents and the local leaders are brought on board, which is the chief, the child, and the teacher. Now that is immediate result. Another immediate result which I also shared, which will happen very immediate, is on the awareness spread through peer group. That's on a clear reporting mechanism established. They will know immediately who to tell where something has happened like that. Then another immediate result is a stronger collaboration at family level, school level, and community level. That is immediate. And maybe to add on, immediate result with the other partners joining us. Yes.
Thank you very much. Let us appreciate Anna Clinton. Timothy, did you send your slides or
Good afternoon, all.
Good afternoon.
My name is Wesonga Timothy. I'm here to present a proposal. The title of the proposal is Kibarani Civic Tech and Integrity Hub. The proposal it will deal with youth empowerment, civic education, and integrity leadership. Project location is in Kibarani Ward, covering major areas of Kibarani, Nzamoyo, Konjora. Project duration is 6 months. It will start 1st July 2026, and the expected completion is 31 December. Project cost it will be 250,000. My partners that I'll be trying to deal with, they are community youth groups, which they will help me in mobilization of the youth and also act as peer facilitators and also participate in recruitment. Other partners are local administration, that is the chief and the barazas. The others are churches and schools, which will help us in venues. The others are county youth stockholders or stakeholders. The county youth as stakeholders which will link us with county resources. The summary is a Kibarani Civic Integrity Hub is a 6-month development project targeting 50 youth aged 18 to 35 years in Kibarani Ward, Kilifi County. The project will run from 1st July to 31st December as stated, and it will be costing 250,000. The community context of Kibarani is that Kibarani Ward is within Kilifi municipality, and it has approximately 41,000 residents. And in those 41,000 residents, around 55% of them are still in low income earning jobs. And 60% of them, they are digital illiteracy. They have the digital gadgets, but they are not able to use them to acquire financial support. And also, most of them depend on casual labor, i.e., border borders, and other small uh, business opportunities like selling mama mbogas. The problem of Kilifi, the Kibarani ward, is that most of them they are they are of digital exclusion. They have smartphones, digital gadgets, but they don't know how to use them to get funding and resources, or they cannot use their digital network to get income. The second thing, most of them they are employment because in Kenya that is the most of the problem that we are facing. So most of them are unemployed. So these being unemployed makes them most of them to use drugs, uh, which leads to social vulnerability. If they use drugs, they cannot come to social, they cannot come and engage in other activities, i.e., the civic participation. They cannot participate in local governance. They cannot be active because use of those drugs makes them dormant. So the reason why Kibarani Civic Tech Integrity Hub is aligned is one that needs this support is because it aligns with Kenyan Vision 2030 of social and economic facilitation and accountability. It also deals with the digital economy, how to earn money using digital platform. It also in line with quality education, because as we train these people for using the computer skills to earn, we will be giving them quality education for them to be able to be educated in the same sector. It will also lead to decent work and create working environment. As they have learned the skills, they can go put the skills into use. It will also reduce inequalities as they come together, they share ideas, they they interact. The interaction will reduce inequalities. Like both gender, male and female will participate. Those with disability will also participate. The objectives of this proposal is digital skills training. We'll train them to use a digital platform like Adobe PageMaker and Photoshop so that they can use those skills to refine your pictures and you pay them. So that will make them get money. Integrate integrity and civic leadership. We should will also mm, strengthen them on the awareness of the civic education and leadership so that they can be actively participating in those local governance. Also, economic linkage. As we train them, we'll make sure that we bring other platforms like Upwork and other freelancing facilities to help them get secure jobs that can help them earn their income. There are also community engagement. We should also will make sure that as they learn, they also go and teach others. The reason why we pick 50 people is for easy accountability and enforceability of the matter. If you take a larger number, it will be harder to control them. So for effectiveness, we will just use 50. And also peer learning networks. We will establish learning networks like WhatsApp groups that will help us interact and share ideas as we have been sharing here. Immediate outcomes that we will be expecting that 50 youth will be trained on digital literacy. They will be also be trained in integrity leadership and civic engagement. 20 youth will be linked to those economic online platform that they can start earning. We will make sure that we have at least 6 mentorship program and community engagement as per those 6 months. And also we will create a group uh, for us to share ideas, that is either on any social media, WhatsApp, Facebook, uh, for them to access and share ideas there. The impact, greater youth employment. As we stated earlier, there is that they will have employment opportunities. Also, the culture, after we train them, they will reduce the bad behavior of drug usage. The beneficiaries of this need are youth unemployment, young women, youth with disability, youth who have dropped out of schools, and youth leaders. Indirect are family members, community members, local youth, and community stakeholders and partners. Methodology of approach, they will be learning through guided practice. Guided practice all sessions they will be facilitated through group task and peer demonstration. Smartphone and based digital training. We'll use smartphone for digital training as most of them access them more than computers. Peer mentorship. As we train them, they also train others. Community learning and network. The WhatsApp group will uh, help them to be able to learn. Innovation challenge will make them to have ideas to solve those problems uh, in Kibarani, identify and solve them. The tools that we'll be using are smartphone, Google Worksheet, Kavan, Adobe, free AI tools like Base 44 AI, project activity and work plans. The first month will be community mobilization and participation. The second month will be doing digital training. The third month will be training them on the AI income tools. The third, integrity civic. The fourth month, it will be community engagement. The fifth month is the youth innovation challenge. The sixth month, it will be mentorship and networking. When ongoing on, then we monitor and evaluate. We will collect data using attendance register, pre and post training interviews, and participation feedback. Uh, After all, we will be reporting monthly, meet every month of three, and evaluation session report plan up December. Sustainability, it will be peer training with other communities, active community learning networks, community institution ownership, digital service as income stream, membership contribution, document and follow up on funding. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Questions? One.
I have a question, but let me leave it
Ready
to
to.
them. No, just ask.
You can ask, then she
believe
will.
you will ask that question.
Maybe you want to ask the same question.
Yes, I believe so. One of them might ask it.
Thank you very much for that presentation. Just mine is only one, just one. My concern is, what is the uniqueness of this initiative compared to what is existing? Thank you.
The first, the uniqueness of this initiative, it is an integrated thing. It teaches us leadership, integrity leadership, and it also gives us an opportunity to have earning, like ways to earn. That is what makes it different from others. Others, they can teach you on the good integrity and leadership, but they will not teach you how to earn. So this is the difference.
So thank you so much, Timothy, for that amazing presentation. So basically, I think the question that my colleague wanted to ask you, there are existing platforms like Ajira Digital, hapa Kilimanjaro, which is actually close to Kibarani. So what is the difference between you and Ajira Digital, which is something that's already pre-existing? You also mentioned an integrity hub. We have an integrity hub at Youth for Integrity Building. So your integrity hub, did you consider having a space, an office space that will be rented? Do you already have a community space? Or how does that look like? And how have you thought of leveraging already existing platforms to ensure that maybe even if you don't have the office space, that residents of Kibarani can also get training on integrity, leadership, and all other things that you've mentioned? Because in my opinion, if you're talking about infrastructure, it is less important than the people getting the actual software, that is the actual training. So I think maybe mine would be a recommendation. You should look into community mobilization, yes, and leveraging on the already existing platforms of people who are doing digital training and who are doing integrity leadership development.
Fabian, you have a burning one. I see you want to raise
You
your hand.
don't have any comment to what she said? Okay.
I see Makio's hand, so I just want to give.
I have a question.
You have a question.
Okay. The idea was good, but I don't know if it is me, but I could not figure out which problem exactly you're trying to solve.
The problem that I was trying to solve is in Kibarani, I have said that we have, according to the digital literacy in there, and also to help youth move outside from drugs to things that can help them in their future. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, basically everything has been asked, but when you were mentioning the stakeholders, and I couldn't even hear Youth for Integrity building anywhere, I was asking myself, do people know Chanuka and Digi skills? My beautiful students, you understand what you're being taught under Chanuka and Digi skills, right? Everything that he has mentioned is what you guys are being taught, right? Or wrong? So basically, whatever you've spoken is what we are doing as Chanuka and Digi skills, and I was expecting you to mention youth for integrity building. I appreciate Diana has mentioned about the digital. You to mention these stakeholders and how they come into working with them or in collaboration with them. And that's basically what Mr. John was also asking. How you think is the idea? And again, the issue of infrastructure, 250,000 Kenya shillings. Are you planning to have a space, computers, and all this with a budget of 250,000 Kenya shillings? So how is your sustainability structure looking like? When you just talk about your project basically. Yeah. So that is just, mine is not even a question because most of it has been asked. It's just like a backup and what need, whatever it will be, but that is just it.
Okay, to justify on what Madam has said, I have emphasized on using mobile phones and church and school venues. It will be much easier than to own our own building. And smartphone is everything that readily available to everyone. Thank you.
Lastly, sarcastic. I've had a budget of how much?
250.
250. Those who are here, he told us is one person you cannot trust. Why? He can say this thing and it does. So how do we trust you with the 250,000?
The 250,000 are basically to help us in logistics and maybe refreshments. Yeah.
So how do we trust you? Because you are telling us 250, but you might do something else with the money. Si alituambia hivyo. Yaani yeye anaweza sema hiki na afanye kitu chengine. Anyway, don't answer that one. So let us appreciate him.
Mr. Gerald, you had a question?
Now the last one is the group.
I don't know if Mr. Gerald had a question. Mr. Gerald, you had a question? Okay, let's proceed.
Okay, not by now, Damaris, not by now, but I would like to get all the pitches by email if possible.
We can't hear Mr. Gerald. He's trying to speak, but we can't hear him.
I was saying that I would like to receive all pitches by email
We still
if
can't
possible.
hear Mr. Gerald. Mr. Gerald, we can't hear you.
Hello, Damaris?
Hello. Yes, now we can hear you now.
Okay, thank you. I have missed a lot of things. So I'm asking you if you could send me the pitches by email, and then I can give my comments.
Okay, that's well noted. I think the proposals were sent to you via email. Just check them out. If there's any that is missing, please do let me know. I will send them.
Okay. Right.
Okay.
All right, your time starts now.
Good afternoon. I'm Mr. Nyamari.
Good afternoon. My name is Mish Malau. we are presenting this proposal to the Youth for Integrity Building organization funded by Youth Empowerment and in partnership with European Union. So our project proposal will run for 6 months. That's start from June to December. Our budget cost of this proposal is 50,000. So our project title is Community Peace and Protection Initiative Against Elderly Killing in Ganze Sub-County. So this proposal will take place at Ganze in Kilifi County. So the background of this proposal, Ganze Sub-County has experienced repeated incidents of killings and violence targeting elderly people. So in many cases, elderly persons are accused of witchcraft. And this is because of land and inheritance, poverty and employment. Many people are unemployed, therefore they scramble for the inheritance or the properties which are available in the communities. And in the process, they accuse their elder people as witchcraft. They end up kill them so that they can own the land.
Our objectives are, the main objectives are to increase community awareness on the rights and protection of the elderly people, then to strengthen community reporting and response mechanism for violence against elderly persons. For example, there is a case where an elderly person has been killed or has been harmed by maybe a group of people. So our plan is to educate the community to be able to channel those reports to the right. The third one is to promote peaceful conflict resolution on land and inheritance disputes. As we know that in the community we have the local administrative. In case there is an issue, before it escalates to the killings, our plan is to educate the community. In case of anything, they should use their local administrative so that they can solve those issues before they escalate to killings. Another one is to provide psychological support to affected victims and families. We know in a case where a member of a family or a community has been killed, there is always traumas and fear. So our plan is to offer support, psychological support in case of those killings, and to promote mental health.
Our main output in this proposal is to create awareness session conducted are going to, the community awareness sessions conducted, they are going to increase sensitization forums in villages and wards on issues concerning human rights and integrity issues, peace, conflict and resolution. Also, community barazas community barazas, radio talk shows also are going to help the community have that peace of mind or have that awareness in their mind that when this certain issue takes place, we should not do this, rather to solve it. Also, community-based structures strengthen to identify and prevent violence against the elderly persons. And also, we are going to improve reporting and referral mechanisms. Also, increase the reporting of threats, abuse, and attempted attacks on elderly persons to the local authorities. Another one, stronger collaboration between the community, administration, police, and the civil society organizations that are going to help the community maintain peace and also to resolve conflicts.
Outcomes. By the end of the project, we are planning that the community awareness on protection of elderly people has increased. That people are aware that even the elderly have their own rights and they should be respected. Another is reported cases of violence against elderly persons reduced. Another one, community reporting and response systems strengthened. Then youth actively participating in peace building activities. And enhance safety, dignity, and well-being of elderly persons. Or through the awareness creation, we will be able to achieve these.
So our impact of this proposal. So these are the long-term effects or results. What are we expecting by the end of this project? So we are expecting that at the end of this project, the issue of elderly killings to be reduced. Also, this project will contribute to a significant decline in killings, assaults, displacement of these elderly people. In some cases, these elderly people are forced to to vanish from their homes, fearing that they might be killed. So, our long-term effect is to ensure this issue of elderly killing is reduced or it is completely eradicated. Another one, improve the protection of elderly persons. This person will feel safer and more protected within their communities to stronger community support system. And also, it will enhance community cohesion and peaceful coexistence. Communities will embrace peaceful conflict resolution mechanism and reduce mob justice. When community gets that awareness, they are going to reduce that issue of mob. I hope you understand. And the target beneficiaries of this project are the elderly peoples, Uganda sub-county, the youth groups and women groups.
The methodology we are planning to use during this project are barazas. Mostly, we are going to use barazas and radio talk shows.
Our work plan or the activities we are going to undertake during this proposal, activity number one, we are going to conduct community awareness campaigns, and here we are targeting 30 people or 30 beneficiaries who are going to benefit directly. The second activity, we are going to conduct training of community peace ambassador. This peace ambassador, I'm talking about like the Nyumbakumi people, the village elders, chiefs, and so on. And also, we are going to engage the youth in empowerment forums and also stakeholder forums and community dialogues.
Monitoring and evaluation. How we plan to gather data to monitor and evaluate the impact. We are going to use attendance records, there is dialogue delivery, carrying out a focus group discussion, and feedback collection. We will know that the project is progressing well if there is reduced cases through while you are monitoring, we will know that there are reduced cases or if the cases are increasing.
So the sustainability of this project will continue even after the withdrawal of the donors through the strong collaboration of the communities and the continuity in creating awareness within the community through the local administration. So in conclusion, this initiative aims to create a safer and more united community in Nyanza sub-county by promoting respect, peace, and protection for elderly persons through collective community actions. Thank you.
Do we have any group member who has something to add? They are at 12:45. You still have around 2.5 minutes. If you don't, we go to questions. You have something? You don't.
As a question.
I'm asking the group members first. They have 2 minutes. So if you have nothing to add, we go to questions. Questions can be answered either by the two or the rest of the members. So let me see the hands. If you have a question. So there are only two. Okay.
Okay, how are you, ladies? Yeah, nice presentation. Yeah, the project was about violence against women, elderly women, and yeah. So the problem statement talked about how they are being manipulated, how they are being bullied, and everything. So my question is, your project doesn't answer the question how. You state in your outcomes, you reduce the percent of violence. But if for now, let's say, the problem in elderly women being abused or let me say old we talked about guns, eh? Yeah, which means now it is on rise. Yeah. So under your outcomes, you have said the violence will be reduced, but you are then stated by how. If it's now it's like the violence is high as let's say 50%, because you can't eradicate it at once. So we stated they reduce it by 5% by the end of the project or 10%. Then under the methodology, I didn't get it clearly. you target about only barazas. And I've seen you have measured the beneficiaries as a women group, youth groups, and elderly. Kind of really fine there. And then under MRE, monitoring and evaluation, you haven't stated about the criteria, how you receive the feedback or how you monitor the the program of your project and how you receive the feedback from the beneficiary, because I think it's a two-way. So kindly expound on that. Thank you.
Who is answering? The two or the two? All right.
Concerning the monitoring and evaluation, when
Unaweza ongea Kiswahili. Hao wanaelewa, only one person pengine atakuelewa, huyo ako online. Ukiona umefika mwisho, explain in Swahili.
concerning monitoring and evaluation, we will obviously be forming a group, and in that group there will be like a chair who will be reporting to us. And through that person, they will have elected them, and through that person, will be giving us progress. Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. Just take it like that. Even the how, just take it like. Do we have a reinforcement because they're already going away?
So monitoring, we are going to use the tools for monitoring, which involve the getting feedback from the local people. We love that. We'll get the issue to do with the giving feedback, animosity. Someone just give out the feedback. Then we'll also have something to do with focus group discussions to engage the community, how they understand the whole procedure and everything. So we are also going to involve the use of the CHPs. The CHPs knows them better. So if we partner with them, they will report the same to others.
Okay, thank you so much for that amazing idea. It's actually timely. Now, I'm happy that the first question I had has been asked and responded to, but to just add a recommendation on it, not a question really, because you mentioned the reports. So we expect when you're talking about reports reducing, that means someone went and reported somewhere, maybe a police station, right? But I didn't hear that coming out nicely. So you could consider maybe going back, maybe if you got the statistics from the police station or the area chiefs, you go back to assess if the cases are still being reported or not, right? Or yeah, apart from just the barazas that you'll be having. That's just a recommendation. You mentioned that you'll be doing a lot of awareness creation and sensitization on 30 people, but you did not explain who these 30 people are. Are the perpetrators, are the victims themselves, are the general community members, are the chiefs? Who are these 30 people we are talking about when we mention 30? You are very specific about awareness creation. And then you talked about community structures and support systems. Very crucial. What are these? It's just what are these community structures? When you talk about community structures and support systems, what are they? What are these? So we also appreciate if you expound on that. And I think when you are explaining on your problem statement,
the root causes of these killings that you mentioned didn't really come out really nicely. Maybe if you care to just in a minute or so explain the root causes, because when you're solving a problem, it's really nice to understand what the root causes are, so that you know how to handle them. Please go back to just maybe in a minute to just tell me what are the root causes of the killings for the elderly. Thank you.
To begin with the root cause of the mass killing of the elderly people, so most of these vijana don't have employment, and they normally rely on the wealth of their parents. So they end up accusing them of witchcraft, hiring people to be or gangs to be killed, and end up owning the land or the properties they wanted to own. Yeah.
Um, and to handle that, what is your intervention? To solve that problem, what's the intervention?
So to solve this problem is where we are going to conduct the community barazas, where these people, they mentioned about youth groups and the women and the elderly. So the session or the baraza will be inclusive of all those needs.
I don't know if I have time to respond on that. Just a recommendation, because you've said the root cause is these young boys, and it's boys majorly you say, yeah? Not girls. So these young boys or men, they kill their parents because of wealth. Maybe they are unemployed. That is what I'm just getting from your statement, right? And you mentioned one of the ways, the strategies to counter this is to have barazas and conversations with these people. But remember, the major issue is unemployment. You will talk to me, yes, have conversations, then what next? It's very important. The strategy you've mentioned is actually nice, very important. What is now going to help me get employment? If I'm doing this because of employment, I'm jobless, what next? Maybe that you can also explore maybe economic empowerment opportunities, maybe you just Clinton wanted to expound? No, it's just a recommendation. So I think these things will feed into your whole proposal later. Yeah, I think you can respond to the 30 people and the structures, and then we take it back to the facilitator.
Right. Thank you. I'll respond to the community structure and support system. In the community, we have the structure which is normally made up of the gatekeepers. So when we start with the gatekeepers, these are the people who are our entry point to each and every community. This includes the Wanyumba Kumi, chief, and those guys, assistant chief. It currently also includes the CHPs and CHVs. They became part of the entry point to that community. Before we talk about the all strands of the politicians and political class. Now, I think those are the people we are targeting. Then another community structure are the civil society organizations, which works within that community. They are also part of our structure. They will also have to get the data and the report from the other side. Then, because there is another, on the issue to do with the cost, that one is, the issue to do with the 30 people, it's just a dialogue where we have people who will be representing the voices from the elderly. The other will be also giving us the voices from the young boys or the young men who apparently normally need those wealth primarily to buy border. And we need just to tell them that this motorbike will end up killing you. This motorbike, as much as you need the money to buy motorbike, there is some other things you can do to engage in to ensure that you support yourself and you get the livelihood. And that's where we will now connect them to those Nigeria platforms. Most of these things happen because people do not have the information. We connect them now to the app, which is at the Youth for Integrity Building. We give them that opportunity. After identifying this, we can now ask other partners to come and join the group. I think that's part of it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Because of time, so let us appreciate the group. Now we will have a short break. Then, as we go for the break, we give the judges 13 minutes to discuss, and at exactly 3 p.m. we'll be back. Now we get their feedback. I will give them 20 minutes. So the first judge will give us their decision, 5 minutes. Then I give him 5 minutes for any comments. Also, there is the virtual one, 5 minutes. Then, so each judge will have 3 minutes to give their own comments on all the proposals. At around 3:30, we will do the certification, then pricing, then we conclude. Is that clear?
Yes.
So we will do our reimbursement after we've done the prayer. Is that okay? So even for the prize, we will do that after the prayer. So we can go for a short break. Unaweza enda huko chini ukastretch kidogo. Then the 3 judges will have the 13 minutes. So by saa 9 tuwe tumekaa.
Sasa Gerald anasema hajakuwa na, unajua hii sasa tunafaa tustopishe live stream because if we have to use this if ujasaini hizi mbili ujasaini hizi za chanuka hajasaini hizi ni za chanuka mbili tu tutastamp sign tu tutastamp si zimebaki hizo mbili ndio hizo. Sasa ona, hebu solve hii ya nini, mimi nitasolve hii ya Gerald anafaa kusikia hao wenzetu wanasema nini. What do we do? It is live on YouTube. So what do we do?
Ama ulogi na simu ya simu pana. Sasa wasikie from here.
Ama tupige tu call a direct call. Nasema WhatsApp. Sijui hata kama niko na balance.
au wana finalize? Anyone? Haya, kuja Mr. John.
Sungura ni hivi. Kuna mshale. Mshale ni na vitu gani? Mshale ni sungura. Sasa katika hivi vitatu sungura anaruka bora, si ndio? Sungura anaweza kuruka bora. Mshale inaweza pita kwa bora. Sawa sawa. Sasa itakuwa hivi. Utakuja mnaongea pole pole. Mimi pia mnaangalia. Sasa ile mtaangalia na tunageuka wote. Itakuwa na masomo. 1 2 3 na 5. So nyinyi mkifanya tuseme mfanye hivi. Sio ni wote. Napo unafanya sungura wao watakuwa wawili. Unaelewa? Sababu sungura inaruka wote. Lakini ukifanya hivi lakini wao wafanya hivi. Kwa sababu wao mshale kupita wote. Lakini sungura unaelewa? Alafu sasa mimi nikifanya hivi na wao wafanye hivi. Wao hivi. Na hapo ndio wote kufanya wote ili ndugu. Unaelewa? Haya sasa Naambia pole pole. One, two, three. Haya, rudi kwa line. One, two, three, done. 3, 2, 1, done.
Thank you very much. So which group won?
Interesting.
So I will throw the ball to the facilitators. So 5 minutes to tell us your decision. Then 5 minutes, make your comments. Then the other facilitator also will have 5 minutes to make his comments. Then we will see if Gerard is still on. We will also give him 5 minutes to comment. Comment generally on all the proposals. If there is anything you want to add, you can still add. So the stage is yours.
So far, so good. It's been really a struggle and also a learning session to what has happened for the teaching session. And I just want to cite some few remarks. Then my friend, I think, will give the positions, the judgment that will come to conclusion. Okay, in generally, I see you have that passion, you have that originality on articulating issues in the ground. something that I've seen coming out from all the presenters. Only that it needs time also, and also need to ask those partners within your area of operation on the viability of such projects in future. I think, and also evidence of clarity of that problem, because some were giving us problem without justification. You can't justify how this problem can about and how you can improve the way it is right now. So I think it came clearly to me that you have that passion. Just to add on that, so that you articulate some information to some partners around before you engage in doing such a thing. The other thing that I've already observed is the objectives. Um, Sometimes you need to narrow those objectives to realign with the activities that you need to do down at the ground. And this will give you support, will give you power to really do the activities right at the ground. Because if you are not clear in the objectives, then it will mess you when you go to the ground. The methodology also is also kept clearly. Though I think there's one slide that I said that you can mix the methodology. You don't just use one methodology, but to some extent, you can mix those methods so that you can attract more audience in your project implementation. Sustainability is key, and here you need to come out clearly defining the stakeholders mapping that we talked about. Who are those in the ground that can keep you going? And in fact, before approaching those stakeholders around, on your own, how can you sustain yourself? That is another aspect that needs to really come out clearly, because some start projects with the name that there's a donor coming out of when the donor goes out now, is stuck. But as you started initiative, keep in mind that you need to have that sustainability aspect. How will I sustain this project even without the donor on board? I think this should really come clear there. Also on the stakeholders analysis, on the technical competence, we are saying that you need to change yourself so that you can change people. You can't talk about a program where you don't have that skills, you don't have a know-how. You need to have that know-how so that you can push forward this agenda to the one you want to support you. So if you have that know-how, you will really articulate well on the project design, the tools that you want to use, and also the impact and the end. I think this needs to become clear. And also, I think with the time management that we've said that we need to do it for 10 minutes. I think most of them have already tried. 10 minutes it was over, and I just comment for that, because that is one of the criteria we were trying to see, to judge upon, and I see that many have really tried to beat the time. I think that I just want to comment on the overall issue, and reflecting on the topic that we've learned. It's good that to relate the relevance issue should come out. Is it relevant to what we have learned? You design a project that is relevant to what you've learned here. I think that will keep you afloat, will keep you moving, because you are able to relate what I've learned here and what I'm doing there, so that you can move forward. In fact, it can be a basis of inquiring from friends. If you've forgotten someone saying, we've been from place and I've started this project, what did we do at that time, so that you can refer and also put into practice what you've learned. So the relevance aspect is very nice, so that to keep you going. You should be relevant to what you are learning and what you are doing at the ground. I think that need to come out. I think for the other part, I leave my co-facilitator also give the results also and give some comments. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now I want to read the results, but before then, it's good for us just to understand the criteria that we use to set on the results. So the results were evaluated based on 20 criteria, and this we were able to look at all the components that a good project proposal is designed to have, including the topic, whether the topic was relevant, whether the topic was specific, and also whether it was narrowed down to our key thematic area, which is promoting of integrity and good leadership, or rather promotion of ethical practices. Those are some of the criteria that we look at, and apart from the components, we also added some of the other relevance, other things that we find relevant, like whether you are able to keep time, whether you are able to respond to some of these questions that were put from the floor and also from the facilitators. We're also looking at whether you are able to have the technical expertise in the project that you are planning to implement. For instance, maybe if you want to do a digital platform to be able to, we want to come up with a system that will track, rather improve efficiency in the workplace. Are you somebody with a background in IT? So that's, you could easily tell that this person is capable of implementing that project just beyond putting it down on paper. So that's also something that we're looking at. Then we're also looking at the another area of relevance to us was based on the training. Are you able to gather some of the skills that you are able to translate into a very powerful proposal? So that means that we're also looking at the collaboration. Are you able to mention at least 3 or 4 relevant stakeholders that are very key to your project? Some mention only one, we give 1 point. Some are able to mention 2 or 3, we give 3. Or yeah. So if you get 5 in criteria, then that's the maximum. So that's the ratio we had used. So we were using a ranking scale of 1 to 5, whereby 1 represents the least and 5 represent excellent, which is the highest. And this was applied to all the 20 criteria. That means if your title was very strong, you get excellent. If the next criteria, which is the scope, was very specific, very relevant, and also aligned with the integrity and ethical practices, you get another 5. So that means that if you get 5 in each and every criteria, then 5 by 20 criteria, that is add up to 100. So if you are too much on the list ranking, which is 1, then there's high chances that we will not sell through, we will get more than 50%. So that's the criteria that we have come up with as facilitators, so that we're able to ensure that we are very transparent and able to honest and able to justify the final winner for this to be awarded. And also, apart from bruising on those criteria, we also again sat down. You see, we are taking some time when we are going for even for icebreaker, is that we are now trying to moderate, or rather see what was awarded but was not relevant or was not within the set criteria. So we also like to moderate. After moderation, again, we do we also do an average. So I do my independent awarding. It does his. Then if I get 85% and you get 82%, then there's likelihood that tally is close to 100% correct. If I get 55 and he gets 75, then it means that I have to remark. That means that something is not right. And that's one of the marking criteria now adopted by the government in the TVET institutions is what we call cross marking, whereby I mark question 1, 2, and 3. The other person marks question 2, 3, and 4. And then in section B, I take one question, the other takes another question. Then at the end of it, we do the final tally. If I get something, maybe the other two sets get more than what we had gotten, maybe the variance is more than 10%, then we need to go back and check. But the allowable difference should be roughly 5 marks, yeah, also. If you get 2 difference, 1, then it is there's high confidence that marking was done. So it was also a very difficult criteria. So I also have to acknowledge this because we find that somebody might be having a very good topic, and when it comes to telling us about the originality, then it becomes difficult to tell us how it's different with other already existing. How it's going to be unique with other projects that are already ongoing. But now other criteria, the person may be ticking boxes, all the other criteria. But the one criteria which we feel that is very important, which is the originality or how creative it is, it fails to it fails to be able to justify that, but also understanding of the concept of the integrity, the last lessons drawn from the session, and even backing up his statement with the data. All these things are coming very clear, but we have issue with maybe 1 or 2 criteria, but you find this person still scoring higher because of other criteria, but we find a way on how we are able to manage that. So I'm going to read the results, and I'm going to start with position 4, which was Kibarani Civic Tech and Integrity Hub by Timothy Wasonga. Clap for him on the right hub. We garnered 60%. Can we clap for him once more on the right hub?
Timothy got an emergency. There is a sick person, so he went to attend to the sick person.
Okay, thank you for bringing that to our attention. After Timothy, the next person there is Group 1, the Elderly Women Project. Let's clap for them as they stand.
So I really like what is very strong from them. I like the unique approach in terms of how they brought in the concept of the elderly women. That's a very good creativity and a very good idea. And also like the confidence in which they're able to do their presentation. When it comes to collaboration, that's the area where they did do well. They kept on mentioning about the community and how is that we sustain that without other key players. Where are the other key players, including the State Department of Genders? We have like um, the social the development where the issues of social welfare is anchored on, and also because you know when you're dealing with the elderly, you also have to bring in the aspect of integration. How are we going to integrate other components within the project just to ensure that we are able to achieve our goals? So there was no clear integration of the different components that are required within the project, like targeting the elderly. We have talked about maybe issues to do with nutrition. There is mentioned things to do with counseling, but there is also much in terms of maybe uh, uh, awareness sessions whereby we can do we can do a lot of awareness about issues. And then in terms of awareness also, they've talked about barazas and also the radio talk show, which here also the radio talk show is not relevant in this context because radio talk show is very expensive. Just being in the radio station for just like two, like 30 minutes, you will have spent over 100,000 maybe for the radio station. So we could have maybe talked about other platforms within our means, maybe doing awareness of social media. Maybe the idea of barazas is a very good approach, but I'm not on the idea of the radio talk show. And then also how they monetize is very clear in terms of the record keeping, attendance, and even the FETs. And then the reason also why they did not sell through to position 2 or position 1, despite they have a very good concept, is that they lack understanding of the technical expertise of the project concept. Because now I was looking at some of these key concepts of the project, like just looking at the how the problem was defined, looking at the objectives, are they very clear, looking at the quality, were there data to back up the problem statement, were not missing, the sustainability aspect, we are only talking about continuous collaboration with the community. How will you continue collaborating once the project has ended? I think this collaboration should come during the process. And what you could have said maybe empowering the community members to take ownership after the project, or rather maybe having maybe ambassadors that have been trained to continue, maybe community champions have been trained so that they can continue cascading that information even after the end of the project. So that was a very good concept, and they also position 3 with 71 points. Can you clap for them? And then at the second place with 75 points is Crimson Omondi, the tech guy. Where's the tech guy, right?
with 75%. So the tech guy also came up with a very unique approach in terms of trying to promote, rather monitor the ethical practices within the management departments in various institutions, which is a very good idea if it is feasible and it can be supported and it can be done. Because this is something that I believe does not need much in terms of maybe seeking approvals and or rather further bureaucracy in terms of but I believe in terms for it to be first piloted and deployed, then it must have a license. But this like cost of licensing, I think, is something that can be transferred to the those clients that may be interested in utilizing the platform because there's licensing fee that is being charged by Microsoft. So that might not be on the burden of the person, the developer, but it's something that can be cost shared or rather be transferred to the final user. And also the question is how is it going to be afforded for the people who are going to use it. So those are some of the concerns, but it is something that is very practical because once we have a system, we are able to connect. Because I understand that in government, there are cases whereby you go, you get into their office, and then you just get a coat has been hanged, and this, you ask yourself, where is the staff? Where is somebody in that office? Also Thursday and Fridays, you not rarely get somebody in the office. So if you get a system that can be able to track how people get in and out, then that could also help. And then those are concerns in terms of how is it different with already existing um, existing platforms because I understand there's already some universities already have that system where you get by the door, you clock, and then you are able to get to know how you when you are there or not. But this is a bit unique in the sense that it's going to deploy other programming that can help us to be able to even track uh, activities that are happening within the organization. So this can also be monitored and we can detect in case there's any unethical behavior or practices within the organization. He also demonstrated understanding of the project cycle, and we also were able to capture all the project components, including the including the objectives were very clear, and then the specific outcomes, and also a money plan to be able to monitor the progress of that systems. And then the timelines, that's where it's called zero, because they say that was it to be implemented within how long? 6 months. So we felt that that's not feasible for this project to be complete within 6 months because the deployment and development and testing takes time even before deployment, and also approval when those licenses are required. So that might not take 6 months. So that was a major concern. So at position one, we have Clayton. Peace Ending Violence Against Children project. So what Clinton failed to answer, I start with where he did not do well before I go to areas where he measured on that gave him a success. He failed to tell us the unique approach that he is going to apply or what will make the project very unique with already ongoing interventions. Because we understand that there are very many interventions that are going around areas of self-protection and safeguarding. So if this is not well covered, then even getting funding for this project might be a challenge. Then Then I like the fact that how he brought in our other areas, including dividing the scopes. I think he's the only presenter that was able to back up his statement with data. So this gave him a very strong point and placed him ahead of the competitors because he was able to demonstrate that he conducted his research well and was able to put down quality project proposal. And then he also demonstrated how he's able to monitor the project. Um, and then also said yes, already have a project, child protection background, which is also a booster for him. They consider the way he work with partners and also mention the key partners like the Plant National. And then it was also able to utilize some of the project tools. And I believe I gave you a couple of one plan. Yeah, I'm saying another area that we are also keen to look at is how are you utilizing the learning from this training to be able to add value to your project development and also which can also trickle down to implementation. So it's only Clinton that was able to present his work and also went as far as submitting a different document with a work plan using the template that I shared, which is the Gantt chart. So that shows that he's able to understand the project and can be able to ensure its implementation on the ground. So that's also something that we felt was very, very key and was important for us to our work. And then we also found that that project was also doable within the time. And then the approach of working with teachers shows sustainability, element of sustainability, because if we train the teachers and also train peer clubs within the institutions, these student clubs, then it means that this element of sustainability projects and then those clubs will always be there and will continue championing about the rights of the children and also protection issues. And then on the issue of also reporting and mechanisms, because we also mentioned that it was hiring, his end goal was a society that is free from violence against children. And he was able to mention that these PR trainings with immediate results and also
be able to also develop a clear reporting mechanism within the community level, including the chiefs, those reporting structures. Once we have those cascaded down to the community, then we are able to realize the goal of ending the violence against children. So that's all from my side, unless there's questions. Let's see if we have questions. I know also the major concern or a question for those of come in, how is child protection project is having a close connection with the integrity and the ethical leadership. So that's also something that maybe needs a point of clarification, and we came to our we actually look at it in this perspective. It's because of the children and the leaders of tomorrow, isn't it? So if we don't have a favorable environment even for these children to be able to thrive, we have cases whereby, for my case, yesterday I believe I mentioned that I'm working on a project that is targeting the child care. And if we just trying to imagine a situation whereby we are all going to work, now the society is slowly changing, and the world is rapidly changing, and then very soon we'll be going to Singapore, isn't it? So if we don't invest in China, so who will then after us? Because now that we are going to work, it's like everyone will not have time to be able to be there throughout to take care of children. So we need to have invest in child protection, because some of us might be rushing to take our children to the home-based daycare or maybe daycare centers, and if you don't have good structures in those places, there is no quality. They don't even have an understanding how to take care of those kids. When they are not supposed, they don't even understand they're not supposed to administer medicine to those kids if they are sick, because that is not their work, the work of a professional doctor. So if we don't intervene on those areas, then it means that we are going to risk the lives of these children, and also the issues it brought about the violence against children is also very rampant. If we don't, if we torture these kids or these children, we don't give them that room for them to thrive. There is a lot of fear that is inserted to them. Then it means that they are not likely to be productive and everyone everyone concentrate on the studies. As we all say, they are the future generation. So thank you very much, and may God bless us all, even as we plan to uh, travel back to our respective homes.
Mr. Gerald, it's your time to make some comments or final remarks.
Yeah, hello, Damaris.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you so much. Yes, this was a wonderful journey. It was a wonderful journey, and I do congratulate everyone who took their time to attend this program. And this must not be an end. Don't consider this as an end, but it must be as a part of the process. consider this as a part of the process because leaders are the ones who learn permanently. So please, I'm happy to see young people like you who are busy learning and who are busy finding for solutions in their communities. That is very, very good. And I wish you to have the same courage for the future and to transfer that courage to future generations. So being awarded can sound smart at the first glance. It can sound smart. It is good being awarded, but the pride that you will have, okay, will come after the awarding that you have been attending today. It means that the work that is waiting for you will now bring the best pride for you. Not only a little thing you can get today. So you have to work harder in order to prove that you really attended the early development program. You have to prove that in your community. People must learn from you. When people see you, they have to see a change. Prove people by your actions, not only words. Because they say actions speak louder than words. Don't rely on words alone, but actions must speak. Yeah, I had a look at some of your projects. I saw many of them will start in June, something that could not convince me. It could not convince me because I was wondering, have you got sufficient resources for you to implement your project in such a near deadline? I was wondering, collected enough information about your work? Wondering, have you of your projects? I was wondering, have you been beneficiaries? So all of those are the questions I was asking myself, and you can try to answer while getting ready to implement your project. So unwavering commitment. And when you are trying to fight against corruption, to promote transparency and accountability, this must be a collective action. It must be a collective action. Never and never you can fight corruption by your own. You must involve as many people as possible. Try to involve as many people as possible in the fight against corruption. Maybe you did not know each other before, but thanks to this program, you now know each other. And don't take this occasion for granted. It's an opportunity for you now to leverage collaborations and relationships that you built during this period. Each one must learn what can I do other, or who can I involve in my work. You have to collaborate. Even if you brought different projects, you can still collaborate, because the collaborations are very important for making the change and sustainable change. The change that you want to make is not like the change for humanitarian actors that they can make, because for humanitarian they want to make some change for some problems that happen suddenly, but for big problems, or for problems that require many efforts, you need to collaborate with many people, not only organizations. You have to learn how to collaborate with even beneficiaries who will be benefiting from your projects. You have to collaborate with the government. Nothing can succeed if you don't involve the government, especially when you are fighting corruption or promoting transparency and integrity. You have to involve the government, learn how to collaborate with the government officials locally. If you are not able to reach those who are at the national level, but it's still possible to involve those who are near you, in your county, for instance. And another big challenge for implementing projects is the aspect of fundraising. How are you going to raise funds for your projects? And you cannot succeed in fundraising if you don't know how to communicate, if you don't have a strong networking, if you don't have time to learn. So you have to learn in order to fundraise. In order to raise a fund, you have to learn permanently. You have to involve people who have got more experience than you. Be curious. Anytime ask questions to your colleagues, to people who started the journey before you. Try to meet them and ask them some questions. What can I do? Where can I find a funder for my project? So people will show you the way. That is the only way you can succeed, when you learn to collaborate with others. So I do encourage you ongoing. Don't give up. You've chosen a good path, and this has got the thorns, of course, but there are solutions. There are solutions, and those solutions are found around you, around your relationships, around your collaborators, around partners with whom you collaborate. That is what I would like to tell you. And all of the team members of Youth for Integrity Building, it is an opportunity for you to strengthen your relationship with that organization which has shaped your future. This program. Yes, this program. And some days ago, I even suggested it. They could expand their activity
Mr. Gerard, we are losing you, so if you can summarize, we'd really appreciate. Um, Mr. Gerard, I believe we've lost you. Unfortunately, internet.
All right. Because of time, I think we proceed. So, for those of us who are here last year and managed to be here yesterday, who came yesterday and were here during phase 1. So for the Chanuka, I think just follow up. Ukiona program ikianza tena kama hii, mnaweza join in na wenzenu. So kuna wale walianza last year, wamevumilia na wakakuja jana na leo wako hapa. So that group we only have 6 certificates wenye walivumilia. So I will call the board chair, Madam ED, then our 2 facilitators, and we need someone who can capture photos. We need to award the 6 certificates to the 6 individuals, then we conclude. So, camera person, angalia ni wapi, because we call the first person. I can see Faith. Faith, if you are here. Who is the next one? Nishi. Esther. Esther yuko. Grayson, come closer. Clinton, come closer. Abel. All right. We are also awarding our facilitators. So, Mr. Billy, you can come. Kennedy Musyoki.
So because of time imetuacha sana. So all into the resort. Position 1, 2, 3 after tumemaliza ndio mtaniona because naona time imeenda sana. And then tulisema after the prayer ndo tunafanya ile reimbursement. Tulikubaliana hivyo. Kwa sasa masaa haya inatuacha. So
Another facilitator who is has been virtual amekuwa mtandaoni ni Gerard Sale Bitendelo.
All right. So, a vote of thanks. Anyone? Then we get someone to pray for us. Then we'll have a group photo here, all of us. Alafu kama umepata certificate, we also have a photo for those who took those certificates today. Alafu sasa tuonane mambo ya pesa. So, vote of thanks. Anyone? So, thank you to our able donor. You saying through Youth Empowerment Fund. We appreciate and we acknowledge your support from the day one up to today, which happens to be the day 6. To our able facilitators, we thank you so much for taking us through all this process. And to our organizers, Youth for Integrity Building, you've been support for us and you've helped us to see things in a different way that we are really grateful for. And for the fellows who have been here, the previous one up to now, I'm also happy that you hit the call and you came back. Something which I want also to acknowledge is that we happen to be from the same group, from Abel to Ken, and all of us were in the same group during our time. And then we managed to come here, around 8 of us, out of the 14 who are in the same group with us. So we've only lost a few individuals along the way. But because of also commitment, one was wanted to present but could not pitch because they also have some commitments. That is, thank you so much. And for the Chanuka and DG skills, guys, this is the way to go. It's the best, and you will not regret the opportunity you had today. Hopefully, things will work well. In the next future, you will also get the same training we had the other time. And my appeal to all of us is that we embrace this, and it will help us moving forward. Thank you all, and may God bless you. God bless you.
Tufungeni macho tuombe. Asante Mwenyezi Mungu Baba, Mungu Mwana, Mungu Roho Mtakatifu, umekuwa nasi toka tulipoanza mkutano wetu siku ya jana. Siku ya leo tumefika tamati, Mungu Baba, naomba ukaendelee kutakasa Mungu Baba, tukaweze kufaulu kwa yote ambayo tunatenda Mungu Baba. Na ndio sijiombea Roho Mtakatifu akaweze kutuombea na katika Yesu somo kwa Mungu.
Amen. So all of us kuja kujipange hapa. Kamera tujipange vizuri. That is a must. Nitajifix tu. Naona hii anga. Hii. Hii. Hii ni lazima. Ama wanaweza kuitoa hapa chini. Sasa shida ni hiyo.
Iko sawa. Lakini hii msongo.
Kwa inaonekana mfumo yote. Na hapa
So, hapa itaonekana mpaka
Kuonyesha kule mstari.
inaonekana. Kwa nikisimama hapa inaonekana.
Lakini nakukata.
Sasa yeye anaonekana.
Sasa pia nusu kumwambia.
So, kama kuna certificate kuja nayo hapa, then na facilitators. Kamera iko hapa. Ndio sasa hii hapo. Kamera. Hapo ndio certificate. Kuna certificate.
We can have like 3 seated.
Hii inaonekana chama. Songe.
So, Mr. Gerard, we've just finished the session. Thank you so much for facilitating and for being with us the entire sessions. We really appreciate your support. And we will still stay in touch. And the rest of the people who have been following us online, we want to appreciate you for following us online and for being with us the entire time. It's been a 2-day training and it has been a very success, and we appreciate everyone who has been on board to support us the entire period. From the facilitators to the Youth for Integrity Building organization team themselves, and to our funders, Youth Empowerment Fund by Global Youth Mobilization in partnership with the European Union, We appreciate you all, and even the learners themselves. We sincerely appreciate your presence and for being active the entire 2 days. Again, for our online followers and those who have been able to view us up to this end, we really appreciate you. We really appreciate your follow, your share, and your support that you've been giving us the entire period. And we hope you'll still be with us and continue supporting us in impacting lives and engaging with young people. From our end, we say asante sana and see you in the next cohort. Bye-bye.
Bye, Damaris.
To make it easier,